Hello.
Welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 369. And I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is Monday, October 23rd. It's Abby's birthday today.
Abby, like...
Alicia's daughter.
Abby. That Abby?
Uh-huh.
Awesome. She's 21?
20. She was born in 97, so 20. No.
96? Yes, 20.
Yeah, 20.
97 would be 20. God. Are you sure she's 20? I feel like Alicia already said she was 20. Are you certain that she wasn't born in 96?
I don't think she was.
Were you juniors or sophomores?
I don't remember. I just remember she was pregnant in high school. Like, that's as far as... Anyway, this is not a show about our old friends and their kids. Anyway... It's episode 369. We already said that. We've been.
It's October 23rd. We were out for a week, so we've now lost our. We've got
rhythm.
Plenty of shenanigans, but no rhythm.
Yeah.
I don't really know that we have plenty of shenanigans
or rhythm at all.
Well, there's that.
But anyhow, thanks for being patient with us while we took the week off. It wouldn't have been a very good show anyway if we recorded last week, so I'm glad we didn't.
That's true.
Knitting wise,
I got halfway here and realized I left all my stuff at home because that's how I roll.
Keep in mind, we only live like 7 minutes apart.
Like 10 with traffic, rush hour traffic, 10 minutes. Yeah, it's very hard being us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got the corner of my block and was like, crap! And so I went back and I never threw the even star in my bag.
I love how at first it was halfway here, and then it became end of the block.
That's kind of like halfway here. Big corpse out. So I totally spaced on even star. I have been working on even star, though, and it's going to be marvelous when you can actually see it. But...
That will not be today.
Also, I was knitting away on Saturday. Boop, 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 just knitting away. And Leslie was coming over, so I was like trying to get 6 rows done on Saturday, and I totally did. But I'm knitting away, and I heard something drop. And I was like, I think one of my stitch markers fell. And then I realized my needle was no longer attached to the cable.
And that is a problem with lace.
That is a problem. Luckily, it was a lace repeat that I had done for 24 rows. So I knew it very, very well. And it happened at a place where it was not terrible. I just lost like 30 stitches. So like 1.5 repeats. So I caught it pretty early on. And really only one stitch.
I knew I should have used cotton. It's fine. It's just the wrap part that...
Oh. You just scared the bejesus out of me.
No, it was just the wrap part.
Also, I totally told Leslie that this would not work. So when it doesn't work, I totally called it. If it does work, then she's just amazing.
I'm already amazing.
She's making a pom-pom using a piece of cardboard.
With a hole in the middle.
Yeah, I don't understand the purpose of the hole, but whatever.
Because you have to be able to wrap both sides in a piece of string. So you need to be able to weave it through the hole to get this side.
Oh.
Don't question my methods.
I have fancy pom-pom makers in my house that I still don't use because I'm lazy. So a bunch of stitches fell off the needles of my even star. And that was a moment of, like, sheer panic. But luckily, Pearl was not on the couch with me. Humberto was not on the couch with me. Just set it down on top of my pattern and went and got a spare needle and picked up all those stitches and fixed the one that had dropped, which was the one that backs up to the stitch marker, and counted my stitches because it's repeats of 20, so it was easy to count, make sure I had all of them, and pulled that one up, and then I got back on track. So really it was like a 20-minute blip in life, which was not terrible, but incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
This is not the signature's fault. Any screw type needle, I unscrew. Like, it is however the magic of my knitting occurs.
I feel like there's slight sort of circular movement as you're adjusting stitches, so I think that's probably common with most people.
Yeah, I don't know. But I unscrew any type of screw type needle, and I was using Signature convertibles, which are a screw type needle, and even though I had tightened them with the little, they sell you like the little tightener that comes with it. It's like how you tighten or loosen the top of jars. That little like rubber mat thing.
Yeah, grippy thing.
Yeah, it's a grippy thing. And I've used my signature thing to loosen and tighten jars. It actually lives in my kitchen because that way I know where it is. I have another one that's in my spinning bag for my Lendrum. Like to take, because the Lendrum has that screw thing. And the bottom one is the Lendrum spinning wheels put together with 2 big screws, basically. And my bottom one needs help sometimes being unscrewed or screwed in. So I have one in my spinning bag for that. Anyway, it's just one of those things with using interchangeable needles that happens. Usually I catch it because my yarn is like hitting that join and it gets caught a little bit down in and I can feel it. I don't know why I didn't feel it this time, but I was not super happy with that whole experience. But I've only had 2 missteps with the Even Star, and both have ended up well. One was Pearl running around with it around her neck because she was chasing the cat and walked through it when I wasn't in the room.
It's so pretty in purple, Mommy.
And it didn't drop any stitches because I had shoved them all the way down and I had a Gelby stitch keeper on there. And this was my second. So as long as I keep it at 2, I'm okay with that.
I like how saying that makes it real.
It's gonna totally happen. Also, I've never put in a lifeline on this. Even though Leslie told me I should.
Do it live, man. Do it live.
Even though she told me I should. And I'm in an area of like 30 rows of twisted stitches. I've done 30 rows of twisted stitches. And I really should have put in a lifeline.
Even if it all went to hell in a handbasket, I would not. I told you so, yes. Like, I value my life.
Oh, the look you would get.
The shank I would get.
You make it sound like I actually shank people. I just threatened to. So that's Even Star progress. I wish that I could show it to y'all, but somehow it never made it in the back.
Oh, well.
Womp womp. But I am working on a sock. I'm in the middle of a row in a sock. But I started this last night. This is my Desert Vista Dye Works sock for this month.
So she's starting it on the 23rd. So who's the person that's always sweating for you? She's seriously sweating now.
Yeah, it is knit on size 0s. This is the Wonder Woman colorway. It's not my favorite, but these are for someone else, so it's allowed to not be my favorite. I didn't go in saying, hey, I hate this colorway, because I didn't know that it would stripe quite like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I went in seeing it in the skein and kind of loving it in the skein. And then, because in the skein, I feel like that yellow is not as intense. Maybe it is.
I mean, it's intense, but the black that I dislike is muted.
Yeah, so it's working up. And I don't know if I can give this to this person or not, but you know who loves Wonder Woman? Mama Linneman. So they might just be Mama Linneman socks. But Mama Linneman does not have a size 8 foot.
No.
So I would have to do a little bit more knitting.
She wears a 9.5 narrow.
She does.
If anybody wants to knit her socks.
Mama Linneman and Weezy celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary yesterday.
That is amazing that they survived. You children.
40 years.
Married.
In 10 more years, it'll be 50 years.
That's how math works. That's our episode title.
That was really good. I can't even be like, damn, that was sassy. That was just good.
It's the only one I'll ever get.
These are socks. I'm knitting them from the top down because Kate Atherley has told me and other people that heel flap socks fit best for people, the majority of feet. And so I believe her because she's intelligent and smart. And so when I knit socks for other people, I tend to do heel flap socks. For me, afterthought heels fit perfectly fine. And so do Wendy Johnson's taupe with gusset socks. I like those loads. But when I'm knitting for other people, I tend to just do straight heel flap gusset socks. You can see how often I knit for other people. This will be my third pair this year. I knit for other people. I just knit other things. Man, I have to knit for my pregnant coworker. Leslie went to hang out with me. My kids were doing thing at McAllister's, a fundraiser where they earned 10% of the sales. So I made Leslie come with me, so I wasn't sitting alone, drinking sweet tea and eating food. And it turned into like an impromptu knit night because our friend Carol just happened to be coming through.
One of my old high school friends. Okay, his kids.
I totally told his kid that I was like, "Hey, my bestie knows your dad. They used to work together and they went to high school together." And she's like, "That's unfortunate."
I like this kid.
She is fine. She's actually very cute, and sweet. But Wonder Woman. So I'm gonna knit on these, and these are chilling in my Whimsy Stitches bag, which I love because I can fold down this part. And it's kind of like a party. And it's got this kid and all these terrible Halloween costumes. Did you guys know that I love Halloween? It's like my favorite event of the year. And it's not that I get dressed up crazily. How's that going for you?
It's just not tight enough. I think it's the thread. It's really annoying me. Anyway.
How tight? That's not tight.
I know. I just said that.
Did you how did you do it?
What do you mean, how did I do it?
What kind of thread are you using?
Cotton.
Like crochet cotton? That looks thinner
That's
than
sewing
that.
thread, but it's like, it's folded over 8 times for strength.
Oh, do you have crochet cotton?
Not up here. Why would I have it in my stash room? That makes too much sense.
I was like, is it downstairs?
Yes.
Oh. I have 3 balls of crochet cotton in my house, one in each room.
Well, you're smarter than me.
Well, I use it for spinning to do ties.
Yeah, that's... And I'll never spin up here, so...
No. Anyway, I've got this cute bag that I bought last year in Fiber in the Burrow. Oh, if we didn't end up going to Fiber in the Burrow, y'all. It was just too much.
Yeah.
Leslie's class that she wanted to take was canceled. And so...
It's just a lot of car time for us.
8 hours of car time for like 2 hours there.
Max.
Which is not terrible. But I think what we need to do next year is I think we need to just plan a trip to Nashville that weekend. And just go Friday.
Stay overnight.
Yeah, and stay overnight. And then, or stay Saturday night and come back Sunday.
Yeah.
Because Nashville is only 3.5 hours for us. But this was
Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro.
It's about an hour from Murfreesboro, I think.
And so it's like 4 hours for us because we do a little cutting across. But usually we take other people in the car with us. We've done that before because I've gone with Gail and Eloise before and some other people where it's been more people in the car and we can kind of like divvy out the driving. But it is a lot of car time. This bag is adorable. I missed seeing Rick and I missed seeing Meg and all the Murfreesboro people and all the Nashville people. I hate that we missed y'all. But we also were not in the correct mindset for Fiber Festival, I think.
Yeah.
But we were in the correct mindset to watch Great British Bake Off and sit at my house.
Eat bagels.
And eat bagels.
Because carbs solve everything.
They do. So, sorry about that if we missed you. If you were looking for us specifically, we apologize. I did put something on the board a couple days before when we found out that her class was canceled. But it just wasn't in the cards. Unfortunately. Alright, I'm knitting on one thing basically, and I've been talking for forever.
Oh, well.
Did you mess up did the pom-pom not work at all?
It's fine. I just have to cut it now. Chill out. It's tied in the middle. I just have to cut the sides.
Oh.
Well, now I'll put everything on top of all my knitting. Because I'm smart.
You're awesome. That's an adjective.
It is. It is an adjective.
It's a never used one, but it's still an adjective.
Alright.
Your hair looks pretty.
Thank you. I'll talk about it now. What the hell? So, I had a girlfriend up in New Jersey that I worked with whose hair was always like super wavy, like little short waves, like almost like ringlets, but it was waves. And she came in one day and her hair was just like glossy and smooth, and I was like, what did you do? And she got, it was called a keratin treatment.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like perming your hair straight versus curly, except it's all natural ingredients and stuff, or the one I got was. But it takes a while. It's advertised to take up to 3 hours because first they wash your hair with this special shampoo that like removes residue or something, I don't know. And then they apply this, then they dry it, like a rough dry, and then they apply this like thick syrupy goop to your hair.
Kind of like henna? In consistency, not in actual things.
No, it's a little more liquid than henna was, but and it didn't smell nearly as terrible. And then they flat iron your hair with the goop. Like,
I feel like that would ruin some flat irons. Whatever.
I don't know. They put the goop in, and they do a rough dry, and then they flat iron your hair to make it like as smooth as possible, even though it's kind of sticky because it's got all the goop in it. And then you have to sit for like, oh no, you sit with the goop first, then they do the dry thing, then they do the flat iron thing, then you go and get it washed out, and then they do another like shampoo thing, and then you go back and they blow dry, and at that point you're done. So that's advertised to take 3 hours. It took 5 for me. I was not prepared to be there for 5 hours.
Where did you go?
This little place called Bell Ross. It's over by Mesquite Chop House.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's
a cute little place. I drive past there, and every time I drive past there, I was like, man, that looks expensive.
It's not terrible. I mean, it ranges in cost depending on where you go and what they use, from like $120 to like $300.
Ooh.
And mine was in the middle there. So now my hair is supposed to be straight for anywhere between 2 and 6 months, depending on how.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, I mean that's the only reason I did it, because I can flat iron it and it'll look all nice and shiny. But
and the colors change too.
I didn't do any color changing. It's just you don't usually see it straight because I hate straightening it.
No, I think it's faded out a lot.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah, it's much more like
copper.
Yeah, copper. So, anyway.
Like a rose copper.
That took for freaking ever. But I'm glad I did it. I hope it lasts. So, while I was there, I knit a little bit on socks. But after a while, I was like, I hate these, and I don't want to knit anymore. And there's nothing wrong with the socks. I was just sick of it.
Our colors are very similar, actually.
So, this is the Americana colorway of Nomadic Knits. I'm still on sock number 1.
It's just the gold's different. Look.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
mine's a little more like washed out.
Yeah.
Intentionally, and yours are more bright. But yeah, it is a very similar color scheme.
That's very funny.
So I did the gusset, the heel flap and the gusset while I was there, and then I was just like, I don't care. Even though I'm bored, I don't want to do this.
Is that your first sock or your second?
It's my first sock.
Should we race?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't care if I finish or not.
No.
I mean, we can, but you don't get a prize.
What prize would I get if I won?
I'll give you a hug. How about that? Yeah, exactly. So I'm knitting these on 2.25 millimeter needle.
I want like ice cream if I win.
We need to go to Area 51.
We do. Also, there are Cadbury mini eggs in autumn mix, which is Cadbury mini eggs in fall colors. They don't taste any different, but they sell them at Target.
Oh.
So basically, they're Cadbury mini eggs.
Nice.
I got a pack yesterday. They're almost gone.
I was going to say, is there anything left? What else? I knit on the Gramps cardigan.
If you're looking for a podcast that discusses life, like healthy life choices,
this is the wrong show. I think that's probably evident in the fact that when we started, I'm pretty sure I was like around a size 10.
Oh.
And now I'm like way closer to 20. So
it happens.
It has been 7 years.
Almost 8.
Yeah. Oh God. So I knit the Gramps cardigan.
We've been doing this a piece, my friend.
and it's perfectly boob sized. This is out of Woolmiza in the cocoa colorway and the olive oil color. What's that?
Olive oil?
No, it's the whatever. It's the German word. I did do 2x2 ribbing on the cuffs and the hem, and then did 1x1 ribbing on the button band.
I don't think you can tell. Also, that is a crap ton of ends to weave in, my friend.
I know. Look at all of that. And it's still not technically done because you're supposed to then pick up and knit pockets.
I think you do need the pockets.
You need to shut your face.
I think it needs
patches.
No, I don't care about the patches.
For the little arms.
I think it needs the pockets, though. If you knit pockets, I'll knit like little bunnies or something to go inside them.
Will you knit them by next weekend?
Maybe.
Then maybe I'll knit pockets. Anyway, I
can do a bun chunk by next weekend.
Mostly done, but not quite.
Like next weekend, like this coming weekend?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I need to get this sent off.
Do?
I don't know. Like,
she was only like 3 months pregnant. No, less than that. She's still first trimester at SSK, and they hadn't found out the sex yet. When did you find out the sex of babies? You had a baby. I have not.
Around 5 months, about 20 weeks along.
So that happened in like August, September, October, November. Oh yeah, you do need to get. What size is it?
A 0 to 6, but it'd probably go up to, depending on the baby, it'll probably go a little longer.
Oliver was wearing my 6 to 9 month flax that I knit for him today, and he's over a year.
It just depends on the babies and whether or not they grow up or out, or they're all different. So, anyway, this is living in one of my Bling Your String bags.
Aw, she has a podcast. No, that's not her. No, she does have a podcast
with Tiff, right?
With Tiff,
yeah.
Knitting with Tiffany. But Bags by Awesome Granny has a podcast now too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I'll have to look it up.
I do too. I keep meaning to, because she sent me a link like 2 months ago and was like, "Hey, check out my podcast," and I keep meaning to, but life keeps getting in the way.
It's been a difficult couple of months.
That's putting it lightly.
So, we mentioned last week, last time we recorded, that our friend Gail had passed. And Gail, if you had been to SSK any year except year 1, you probably would have met her. She was local to us and kind of a force to be reckoned with, and a lot of fun. And anyway, she passed, and I decided I would knit a shawl either that she had cued or favorited, and so I found one, and then I'll auction it off at SSK this year. So she's
for the charity fund.
Yeah, so she's still sort of, if you believe
present,
in that,
yeah,
then she's still sort of involved. So this was one that she favorited. This is Swoop by Romy Hill, and it's sort of an asymmetrical triangle with little lace sections. Whoa. And because Gail was she was a purple lady.
Oh yes, she would fight Teresa over something purple in a heartbeat.
And I happen to have some Gail's Art Merino Yak Silk.
That base is
silver and one in royal, which was the purple.
Yeah, that base is lovely.
So I started this the day before Gail's service, and I was knitting on it at the service.
Yep.
So these are the two colors, and it is juggling 2 balls of yarn, so it tends to want to tangle. So, and this is what it looks like so far. Oh, those are all my extra stitch markers, because you're constantly adding and removing stitch markers.
Funny.
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't look like anything right now because it's just lace. Although I had gotten all the way to and through the second lace section before I realized that reading directions is important to getting the pattern that you are knitting. And I hadn't been increasing along the edge here like I should have. I didn't do it at all in this bottom section, but I wasn't going to rip it completely out because that was what I was knitting at the service, so it's just staying there. But starting here in the second section, it increases out. So it's really easy to memorize. I mean, it is a bunch of short row sections, which gives you an interesting look. Like, you got all these sort of breaks of color.
Oh.
Which is kind of cool.
I like it.
And it'll get more obvious the further that I go in the shawl. But this will be something I'll do a little bit at a time. I'm not going to rush through it. Kind of like you did with
Rose thing.
Yeah. And it will be on auction for the SSK fundraiser next year.
The SSK fundraiser doesn't go towards us. It goes to Scarrett Bennett. It's a charity. Mm-hmm. They're a nonprofit, and they do a lot of cool things.
Yeah, outreach in the community, and especially helping displaced women in general and families in general. So, and that's all the knitting that I have. But I did crochet.
You crocheted?
Yeah.
What did you crochet? Oh, look at that.
They're all tangled now. So Laura and I went to...
I was wearing mine earlier today at work.
Laura and I went to the Pink Palace Crafts Fair. The Pink Palace is a local museum.
Yep. And their crafts fair provides them with income that does funding for different events and such.
And it's a juried show, so, the caliber is good. And we both spent what would probably be considered slightly exorbitant amounts of money on some crochet jewelry.
I've got her business card.
Oh, cool. You'll have to leave it out so I can link it. This lady was super nice.
So nice. And had the most gorgeous stuff. And it's LeGrand Jewelry, and she's from Colorado. So if this is something you're interested in.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the show notes. So Laura and I both spent money in that booth.
I got 2 long necklaces that can also be doubled to be a choker and wrapped around your wrist as a bracelet. So the versatility of them was totally worth it. And she had them with button closures.
Yeah, and I got a wrap that was a combination of leather and beads. And I didn't wear it today, but I'll try to remember.
Well worth the money. And I'm sure her time that she spends, and she would lengthen or shorten stuff.
Oh yeah,
for
she
you
was
there.
very
She
accommodating.
Was very sweet.
So I couldn't find a ton of patterns out there on Ravelry for crochet jewelry, but it could just be that I'm not looking under the right categories. So if this is something that you do a lot, I'm, interested in hearing from you guys. So this is one of the things I made. I used a 5/2 cotton, and I just, on this first longest one, I just spaced these out like 10 stitches apart. And then on this one, I didn't have a whole lot left, so I just did a bunch all together. So I was going to put a closure on it, but I don't think I will because it's long enough, or it's big enough that it'll go over anybody's head.
Yeah, but you could do, if you want to make it so that you can use it as a bracelet, you probably need some kind of closure.
But
I like the button idea. That's cute.
So that's one of them. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I just wanted to see if I could.
You can always make some for me.
I could. And then I did a gold one, even though I don't really wear gold typically. But this was embroidery floss I had. I can't remember what the number. I want to say number 10 embroidery floss. And this is another simple one. I just alternated these simple pearl-like beads with this shiny gold thread.
That's pretty.
And that's another, I just made them really big. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, or if I'm going to add closures, or like the button idea, like Laura said. I don't know. I just wanted to sort of try it out and see. I do like it. It goes really, really quick.
Yeah, and so one of the things when I took a class with Hohi, on her boxy sweater, she was talking about different kinds of jewelry to wear, and she really recommended wearing longer pieces to break it up, which is primarily why I got that, because I've been wearing a lot of, y'all can't see me, I threw the shawl on. I've been wearing a lot of dresses lately. This is from Old Navy, and so it's just like one long tunic dress, and then I'm wearing like crazy LuLaRoe leggings underneath. Like, these are Halloween ones with high black boots. So this is like one solid knee length dress, because we have to wear knee length. So like, just looking at this, there's nothing to break it up. So I've been breaking it up with other shawls, like today after school, because it's always cold when I come over. And this is my Kirsten Kapoor Dwayne Park, which has an attached edging. I need to knit like 4 more of those. It's my favorite child's wear. And I love attached edgings. Like, I cannot wait till I get to the even star attached edging.
I told her I hope that she still feels that way when she gets there.
I totally will. Anyway, one of my favorite shawls. And it's just 2 colors that are broken up. Great for 2 pieces of Volmisa, especially if you have 2 skeins of Volmisa. This is a variegated color. This is like the Dorsch Rosen color. And then a gray. Because what do I like?
Purple and gray.
This isn't, I mean, it's got some fuchsia elements to it, but it's not super purpley.
No, I just meant, you said, what do you like? And I was answering your question. Purple and gray.
And I like that it's got this eyelet section, so it's a little bit fancy. It does like plain, stripes, eyelet, attached lace edging. Anyway, the purpose of that long story is it breaks, necklaces like that break stuff up. Whereas if I had a choker on or something like that, it would not do that. And it would draw all the attention like right here. Mm-hmm. Which, when that's covered, is not super flattering.
I was saving that.
To eat later?
Yep. You said you finished a thing.
I did.
I'm sorry.
You finished things, so...
Yeah, I showed them.
Yeah, I know. I finished some socks.
You did.
I did.
No, these aren't for you.
These are not for me. This is for one of ours. This is for Stitch and Stacy. And she was one of the winners of the drawing at SSK for charity. Mm-hmm. So I did 2 pairs of socks. That's the Wonder Woman ones I was thinking about doing as my second pair. But looking at them, the yellow is kind of aggressive. Like, not in a bad way.
Aggressive yellow.
It's just an aggressive yellow. And I feel like it might not be towards everyone's taste. And I'm not certain it's for the other recipients' taste. So I know it is Mama Linneman's taste because she loves her some Wonder Woman. So
yay, feminist icons.
I know. So the Wonder Woman socks might go to Mama Linneman, who does not have a size 8 foot.
Well, it's not that much bigger.
No, it's not a ton. Anyway, these, speaking of awesome feminist icons, are Molly Weasley socks.
I love me some Molly.
So...
Weasley, not the drug.
I forgot that there was a drug named Molly.
Yeah.
So these were knit from the top down. You can see that these were not perfect. They've got that blip of purple interrupting the green sock stripe, but I think they're pretty cool. These are Nomadic Knits in her Twisty Sport base. I used approximately 300 yards out of 320. I have a very small amount left. So...
yeah, her sport... well, I guess most
it went really, really fast.
Yeah.
I got to knit on size 1 needles, which made me super happy.
Sport.
Super happy. And I don't think they're that dense. Like, I know they're not that dense.
They're denser than your usual sock, though.
Well, yeah, because they're sports. So, anyway, I might do the Wonder Woman socks for Mom. And then do, I have other cool sport colorways of Nomadic Knits because I love her stuff.
Yeah.
And that would give me an excuse to buy a second colorway for me. So, and I know Marigold Jen is the person that I'm knitting the second pair of socks for. I know that her grandkids are super into Harry Potter. So
really, you're just looking for a reason.
At least Hobbledehoy's children are. So I think that's kind of cool. No, I'm not looking for a reason to not knit the Wonder Woman socks for her.
No, I mean to buy from Nomadic.
Oh, I don't need a reason to buy from Nomadic.
It's nice to have justification.
She did a Black Friday sale last year, so I might partake in that.
What was the sale?
Was it 10% off? 20% off? But it was like maybe after Christmas by the time that I got the yarn. But
it's always like a 5-week lead time.
I wasn't knitting for Christmas. Anyway, got pretty socks.
Plus then you forget about it and it's like, ooh, present.
Yeah, like that her and DVD. I'm like, this is amazing. When did I order this? Yeah. I have some spinning. It's so sparkly.
You so sparkly.
This is the 3rd installment of the Unicorn Bat Club. from Hello Yarn.
No.
Not Hello Yarn. Jeez. Knit Spin Farm.
This is why we can't have nice things.
This is why we cannot promote nice people. Both of those people are very nice
They
people,
are.
FYI.
And both very reasonably priced.
Yes. Yes. Like, crazy inexpensive for this club. You should, if you are a spinner and you are not joining her clubs, I don't know why not.
Stop making it harder to get into her clubs.
I don't know why not. Because it's amazing. This month's club came with a package of candy corn, and I
haven't gotten mine yet.
But I didn't eat yours yet.
Yet. Like, I better get over there.
This one's club came with, like, a French, remember the fiber that I spun of David's? Charlos, or whatever? Charlize? It's got that in it, I think. I need to sit and read. And Bill's writing a story.
Oh, cool.
A mystery story that goes with it. And Joanna sent us 2 copies. They come to my house because we're not going to waste shipping
for 2.
For 2, like the waste of that, like that extra plastic.
Plus,
Leslie
I'm
and
sure
I drive
it's easier for Joanna that way too.
I hope so. This is my cool unicorn bat, and one of the house cup things is create based on a mythical creature whose fiber could be found in a wand. Unicorn. It's so perfect in so many ways and sparkly. So. This was spun on my ladybug. It is Knit Spin Farm Unicorn Bat Clip number 3. I got 216 yards of a 2-ply. It was a little over 3 ounces, I believe. And I had almost none left over. I think I had like 2 yards left over. And that was it.
I feel like that's too floppy. That's definitely too floppy. I gotta fix that.
There's no trouble like a pom-pom trouble?
Apparently. Pom-pom trouble don't stop.
So I'm super happy with this. And this is going to be a hat for me. Why? Because it's purple and gray. And really, could you get better than that? Nope, you couldn't. It's perfection. Today was hat day at school, and I forgot that it was Red Ribbon Week. Wed Ribbon Week.
What's Red Ribbon Week?
It's a drug awareness.
Oh, okay.
But I forgot that it was hat day, and I could have worn amazing hats. And I did not. Or taunted my coworker who's a a Baltimore Ravens fan. Because the Steelers beat the Bengals yesterday.
Okay.
So they're like atop the AFC North Division.
So what does that have to do with the Ravens?
The Ravens are also in the AFC North Division, and they are in 3rd place right now, or 2nd. They lost yesterday. So did Cincy. Anyway. Yay! This is pretty. I'm excited for it. Usually, I put ties on it, and I don't think I did this time. I didn't put any crochet ties.
Any crochet ties?
Yeah, like I do the crochet cotton ties.
Oh, you just use the ends of the spinning to wrap
I
it.
did this time. I try not to because I do use those to tie on, but I like having the crochet I like having more than 2 ties on my spinning.
Yeah, I try to do 3
because that creates less issues when I wash it, if that makes sense.
Yes. Less opportunity for tangles.
It does. It's so pretty. Anyway, that's what I've got. You plied something.
I did.
You have spinning too.
I have spinning.
Don't act like you don't. You've had spinning for like 2 weeks in a row now.
The apocalypse is nigh. Alright, let me...
You're not allowed to finish tying on that pom-pom.
Like, if you want it done...
I think it's more, do you want it done?
I want it to not come off. Alright, that can hold for a second. So, I wanted to... I don't know, I got a wild hair and decided I wanted to thread ply.
Yeah, she stole stuff from my house.
I did. I stole some pink silk thread, and I used about 1.5 of them.
Okay.
So...
Well, you have 1.5 left for the next time you get a hair to thread ply.
So, I took some Finn from
pretty.
Three Waters Farm in the Sunlight Ahead colorway and spun it kind of thicker and
Uneven.
worsted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't actually mean to go uneven, but anyway. And then I plied it with some silk thread that you can get from like Joann's.
Yeah, it's
from
silk
Laura.
sewing thread.
Yeah.
From the House of Lala, which also comes from Joann's when they have coupons.
Yeah, it's Guterman, I think, was the brand.
They come in like 100 yard.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend buying, if they only have like 3 or 4 of a color, buying all 3 or 4 because you will use them.
So the thread was this hot pink color, and then the fiber is all sorts of crazy bright colors.
Happiness. What are you going to do with that?
I don't know.
That screams kid hat to me.
Probably give it away.
Screams kid hat.
Well, the camera doesn't want to focus for some reason.
Like, that would be perfect baby hats. A bunch of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I got about 150 yards.
You can knit like 4 preemie hats or baby hats.
Yeah, but I worry about that thread and whether or not that would...
With the silk?
Yeah, whether or not that would
It'll be
abrade.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
But, anyway, it was fun. I had to keep myself from... I kept, like, my brain kept trying to convert the spiral ply into a core spin.
Oh, were you trying to spiral ply?
Yes.
Oh, I just thought you held the two together.
Is that not spiral ply?
Oh, no.
You're the spinner.
So are you a spinner?
I feel like you just don't want to tell me I did it wrong.
No. I don't know.
To me, that looks like spiral ply.
What angle did you hold on the fiber when you...
The fiber was over here at, like, this, and then the thread was right underneath me. So maybe 45-ish, maybe a little less, depending.
So spiral ply is more like you're putting it on like a core, I think. I don't know. You know what? We're going to look up some videos on spiral plying. Because I don't know.
Because I thought spiral ply was just glorified one super thin thread and one...
No, that could be thread plying.
Well, maybe that's what I meant then. I don't know. I wanted it to look like this.
Well, there you go.
So I got what I wanted.
Matters. Why are you labeling your spinning? Why are you giving it labels? That's all that matters is it turned out like you wanted to.
Yeah, so I spun that. I spun a little bit on my Turkish.
Did you?
Batlings from
Yeah.
Hobbledehoy, but not enough to, like, not even a little quarter ounce of it, so
Yeah,
it's tangled.
it happens.
It's a little bit of a floppy pom-pom, but
That's a Charlie Brown pom-pom.
that's kind of amazing. This is the new fashion. This is what everyone will be
It's
wearing.
actually super cute. Here.
Why are you messing up my perfect hair?
No, that's cute. It's kind of like a beret style. I'm going to pick out your hair that's in it now, though.
It's there for added flavor. Anyway, I need to weave these in.
Oh, it looks cute.
What else? Yeah, that's it. Oh, there's books and stuff down here. I gotta move this.
We've been reading some.
Yeah. So 2 weeks makes for lots of books. If you hate listening to us talk about books, I would fast forward like 6-8 minutes.
Sure.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. I have been reading some paranormal romance recently. I started by reading Sleeper by Lexi Blake. It is the third in a series, which is actually a continuation series of another series. So I think there's 4 in the first series, and then in this series, this is the third. I enjoy it. It has elements like her other non-paranormal romance have, which sometimes might involve 3 people romantically.
A menage or poly.
Yes. So if that's not for you, this probably would not be a book for you. It has some aspects of werewolves and vampires and demons. And this is definitely not a standalone. You would actually have to read the first 2 in order to get to this third. And I'm waiting for the story to... This is kind of like one of those books that comes in the middle.
Yeah.
That moves the story forward, but doesn't necessarily move the characters forward a whole lot.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see where it's going. I've kind of lost my moment. Like, I was, like, pre-ordering them a year out before they... I'm not certain I'm that into it, but I do like her books as a whole. I also read Rock Candy, which is the continuation. It's a short story in the Ordinary series by Devin Monk. Devin Monk is a knitter, which is awesome because this whole series has knitting in it, even like briefly mentioned, like a hat being hand knit by the Kink Club, which is the Knitters Club.
Oh.
So like K-I-N-K, it stands for knitting, so whatever. And there's a crochet club too that's got... Remember how I was describing the other books and they had like 2 battling clubs, the crochet club and the knitting club? Are you okay?
Yeah.
I totally did not shake that, and it's been sitting here for like an hour.
Well, it got shaken.
Crazy. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was responsible for buying the sodas today. So... It is a continuation. It's a short story in that universe. I enjoyed it. It had, like, lawn gnomes who had become zombies, which was very funny. And they come alive at night because they're lawn gnomes. And only in the month of October. Let's not go crazy now. So it's a cute little short story in that world. If you are into the Ordinary Magic books, they are very cute. And they do involve knitting and... they're just enjoyable as a whole. Aren't you glad you have those washcloths up here?
Yeah.
That's probably not what you were intending them for. And then I started last night a book called Bayou. Born. It takes place in Mississippi. And it is about a girl who is found in the middle of the bayou. As like a 10-year-old, and she's got these markings on her, but she doesn't know where she comes from. She's adopted by a police officer and ends up becoming a police officer. And every year on her birthday, someone calls her on this old rotary dial phone that's not connected to anything else.
So I would get rid of the phone. Like, that's the first thing I would do.
But she's curious as to where she came from, and they just found another girl in the swamp who's older, who's got the same markings as her, but she hasn't woken up. There's like a cryptoid element to it as well. So I'm interested to see where it goes. It's getting publicity as like Alana Andrews, and if you want to get my attention on a book, you just say it's like Alana Andrews.
Yeah, Laura said that, and I was like, hold on. And then I went to Amazon and sent a free sample to my...
So I sent the free sample because that is what I always do, because I like seeing how the author writes, the author's style before I purchase, because some author styles I can't handle. And like, if you were going to write 5 pages describing a flower...
Or wine.
Done. A place. Done.
A kind of furniture.
Done. Yeah, I got no patience for that. Like, I enjoy a description.
Of a couple sentences.
I enjoy, like, some metaphors and similes thrown in there. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy figurative language. I do not need 5 pages of it describing one single item.
Yeah.
Or one encounter.
Yeah.
In great detail. So, I am enjoying it so far. It's not up to Alana Andrews' writing style, I will tell you that. But as a whole, the story development, the character development is pretty good. I feel like it could use a little bit more character development.
Is it the only book out by this author at the moment, or?
I don't know. No, she'd written another series, I think. I feel like it's like the author of on the cover.
It's linked in our show notes.
Yeah.
Which is on TheKnitGirlls with 3Ls.com.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it okay. we'll see where it goes. I was also very tired and oh crud, I have to get back to Liz. Liz texted me last night at like 8:45 and I was already asleep.
About?
Oh, she was just asking me a question.
Oh. Dolly Mama Liz.
Yeah, she was asking if I was okay.
Oh.
And then I didn't respond for 24 hours
So
because I'm a terrible
that's
friend.
always good.
Well, I woke up at 2 a.m. because Pearl decided she had to go out at 2 a.m. And then I didn't get back to sleep till like 3:45. And I feel like texting other people, like most people turn their sound off at night, but some people do not. And I feel like responding to a text at 3 o'clock in the morning is a terrible thing to do to our friends. Like, friends don't do that. Although I did respond to our group text at that point. But I know everyone in our group text turns the sound off at night. So I need to get back to her because that's a jerk thing to do, is not respond to a text. But I marked it as read and forgot.
Yeah.
So, not that you can mark. I wish you could unmark text as read.
I wish you could too.
Because
there's
sometimes
probably
I
a
need to go
third-party
back.
app that'll let you do that, but
That would be amazing. Come on, Apple, get with it. Also, this Apple update that just came out is terrible. And it turned on, if you have an Apple product, it turned back on the refresh in the background for all your apps. So if you find your battery disappearing quickly, you might need to go back into your settings. And it's under General, and it's Background App Refresh, and you might want to turn that off. Because my phone was burning through some battery. Apple likes to update to make older versions of their phones useless.
that's how you get more purchases.
Yeah, I'm not updating to an 8. I have like a 7. It's fine.
Yeah, I have a 6, and I'm not updating. At least I'm not buying another iPhone. As far as books, I am reading Awaken Online, which is, I think the idea was to be kind of like Ready Player One, but it's more RPG style, and so you have to like build up your character, but it's meant to be fiction, a story with just some of that, character building and skill building smattered in. But
I don't know that I would care for that.
And I went into it knowing I might not, but it was a Kindle Unlimited, so
Wow.
I was like, I'm not losing anything.
You're just losing time
Yeah.
of your life.
And so I've probably put like 3 hours into it, but I'm at the point now where he's considering, should I add skills to vitality or speed? And I'm like, I don't care. Just tell me who wins. So I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to finish that one. I am listening
Anytime you're like, who cares? Just move on.
Yeah.
That's probably not a good book choice. Get on with it.
I just started listening to Cycle of Aran, that's how you say it, by Edward Robertson. It's one that's narrated, it's an audiobook narrated by Tim Gerard Reynolds, who has narrated all sorts of amazing books. He narrated the whole Red Rising series, as well as just a ton more. And I really like him as a narrator. And generally, if he's narrating it, I'm willing to give it a shot. So, I just started it. It's like 50 hours worth of book. So, I'm only a couple hours into it. I did just finish Nevernight by Jay Kristoff, who co-wrote a couple books that I talked about in the past few months, Gemini and Illuminae, with another one of my favorite authors, so I thought I would try this one. And Nevernight is about this girl.
Just got caught in my knitting. Sorry.
This girl who grows up and her parents are killed early, and so she spends her whole young adult lifehood from 10 to 16 training so she can enter this like super private assassins academy. And so it is teen centered, but it is not an appropriate middle school book. There's sex and cursing and all that in there. But it was an interesting book. Sometimes YA can be really hit or miss with me, but it was pretty good. Although I don't know if it would be considered YA, even though it's about a teenager.
YA goes up to the age of 20.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that genre it's geared from like the 13 to 20 range. So there's a wide range.
It was a good book, and there's a second one out, and the third one is scheduled for release next year. So I was going to immediately start listening to the next one, but I thought I'll give it a break and then That'll give me something to look forward to. And then I started listening to this podcast, and I'm not going to talk about it in detail because some people may get offended, but it's called My Dad Wrote a Porno, and I linked it in the show notes. And it is essentially it's these 3 British people, and they're all probably in their 30s, and one of them's father has written an erotic story, and it's self-published on Amazon, and every week they read a chapter of it and kind of tear it apart.
Aww.
Like, and the dad's on board, and he's, perfectly happy to be mocked, and it's...
You like that genre, though, like Idiot Abroad,
yes.
and the one with the father on the trip. What's
yes,
that one?
The one that's on Netflix, Travels with My Father, which it just came out a couple months ago, but it
you
was
enjoy
good.
That genre.
It's really freaking entertaining. I did not think it would be that entertaining, but it is. But it's definitely not one for the kids. I mean, the title should tell you that.
Yeah, that's probably not.
But if you need something to get you through the drudge of the subway or travel to and from work, or sitting at your desk, I mean, earbuds. But it is a funny podcast. And I think there's 3 seasons worth out there. I'm only in the 2nd season, but it's
has the dad written more than one?
Yes.
So how many erotic fictions has he written?
They've reviewed, they just ended season 3.
So 3 different ones?
3 as far as I know, because, I mean, I don't know if in the 3rd one they reviewed somebody else's or not. I haven't gotten that far, but it is terrible and hilarious. So,
I hope he's selling lots of them on Amazon.
Yeah, and they definitely pimp it. They're like, give my dad $1, go buy his fiction,
Read it as we read it to you.
Yeah. Let's see. We have a new prize.
We do. For
our Halloween Craft All the Things.
Let's go through the Halloween Craft All the Things.
Halloween.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween. So these are from Knit Style yarns. And then her friend also makes bags, who's Donna Design Shop on Etsy. So this is Knit Style yarns. And then Donna, DONNAS Design Shop on Etsy. And they donated this kit that is this awesome bag with the yarn.
Yeah, it's real coordinated. I dig the
very cute,
super gothic cameo portraits.
Yes, they make me happy. Y'all are lucky that they said specifically that these were for prizes only.
That's always Laura's first question when we open a box. Can I keep this?
I'm ready to run off to Mexico to coin a Knit Girls, or not Knit Girls, Knit More Girls saying. And then she also sent some trendy mini skeins, and these are a superwash merino nylon. Very cute. This would be perfect to do with another a navy blue,
color,
or a bright blue, and then those would be pretty. And then of course we have the staycation soaps. We have pumpkin spice latte, and she posted a picture of these unwrapped in our chatter thread for the Halloween stuff, Craft All the Things. And then the autumn stroll, and we've got 2 of each of those. We have a braid of fiber from the lovely Joanna Springs of Knit Spin Farm, and you guys still have a week to get stuff in.
Oh my god, Halloween's a week away.
And then the little stitch markers from Lady Juju. So lots of cool prizes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have around a week. I cannot believe October is almost over. It's making me super sad. It's also making me want to wear Halloween leggings every day to work. Luckily, I have 3 of these dresses in 3 different colors.
So the dream can become reality.
I totes do. I have a black one, a gray one, and a red one. It's gonna happen.
You have a purple one too, right?
I have a purple dress. Yeah, it's
slightly different.
It's slightly different. I also have a bunch of Carly's from
LuLaRoe.
Yeah. So I have there are lots of options, because dresses and leggings have become what I wear to work quite a bit. But I need some more high boots. I have to get wide calf high boots.
Yeah, I do too. I have massive calves.
You do have
We need to go to Torrid. They have wide boots.
Oh, do they?
And try some on. That's where I found the ones that I use.
The shoe store at the outlets, I think, has wide boots too. So yeah,
We'll have to go.
I also want a new pair of Doc Martens.
Yeah.
Because my other ones are from the 90s, and they're finally giving it up. Plus, my feet have gotten a little bit bigger
Mine
since
have
the 90s.
gotten a little bigger as well. About a half size.
Welcome to your 30s. Anyway.
Do you want to talk about Agatha Raisin?
Oh my gosh. So, my friend Jessica, Show Me Your Knits, has been after me because I like British crime dramas to join Acorn again to watch Vera, which is by the same people who did Shetland, and I love Shetland.
So Acorn is it's something you can add to your Plex server and probably Apple TV as well.
Not Plex, but like Apple TV and Roku.
Sorry.
Or however you stream, Chromecast, however you stream.
It's a channel, essentially.
And you can add it to your Amazon as well, your Amazon streaming.
Oh, okay.
And what Acorn does is it's all like British comedies and dramas. Not anything like The Great British Bake Off, but things like Midsummer Murders and Murdoch and The Detectress and all the things that Amy Beth loves. And I happen to love too. So I added it. It's like $4.99 a month. So it's for streaming of content. It's pretty low cost because now,
assuming you love British,
the Miss Marple mysteries are on there. So I added it to get Vera because I've heard really good things, not just from Jessica but other people. And I love Shetland, but they're by the same people, and that's a little bit darker. Agatha Raisin, though, is hilarious. It's about a woman who was a PR person, and she's a little bit socially awkward, and she's moved to this middle-of-nowhere Cotswold village, and she tries to blend in. So the very first thing that happens is there's a local, like, fete, which is like a fair.
Party or...
Yeah. And they have like a quiche baking contest, so she goes and buys a quiche at this very fancy like London place and brings it back, and the judge is killed by a poisoned quiche, and it's her quiche.
Oh.
And so then she has to confess in front of, at the like hearing thing, she's got to confess in front of all her neighbors that she bought the quiche, it wasn't hers, and then they all hate her. And it's like a comedy of errors.
It's a logical response to buying a store-bought quiche.
To entering a store-bought quiche in a home-baked contest.
Oh, it was a contest.
Yes,
okay.
I'm sorry, I missed that part. Yeah, it was a contest that she cheated at. But she's very London, and they are very not. So it's a comedy of errors, and it's very funny. If you like things like Father Brown, I couldn't get into Father Brown. I need to give it another try. But I enjoyed this.
Do you have a tape measure?
I do have a tape measure.
I've got like several dozen, but none of them are right here.
I do have several right here. On my side of the recording. No, in my bag.
You do have several in there.
Why would I lie about that?
I have to see if I'm ready to start the toe on this bad boy.
Anyway, so I'm enjoying Agatha Raisin. It's a funny show. I'm like 2 episodes in. So it's my new knit on socks or spin and watch TV vice right now. And I am still watching Vera. It's just so
dark.
It's dark, and I need something that's a little bit lighter right now. Like, the first one involved the killing of children of Vera and, like, teenagers, but still.
Yeah.
I can't do that right now. So, I talk to my kids, like, when we do what I want to read next, they keep lists, and I'm like, and I keep an emoji next to it that tells me what kind of book it is, because I can only do, like, 3 sad books in a row.
Yeah.
And I can only do dark crime murder mysteries, like, 1 at a time. Otherwise, I have nightmares. Or dreams about serial killers trying to get into my house.
Yeah,
which wake me up at 4 a.m.
I have to have something a little fluffy before bed. It can't be anything too serious. Or I won't sleep. But, so, we have 2 things left to talk about. One of them is Leading Men.
Yes, I haven't seen this.
A winter kit.
It came to Leslie.
Yeah.
I'm out of the loop.
It just came today. And most of it's still completely wrapped. I haven't opened. I figured
so
we
when
could
do
do it
these go on sale?
So.
Oh, look at that picture!
I know. Steve and Andy are the men behind Reading and Fire Arts.
Oh!
That big old grin.
That is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Look at those two cuties.
And
they're so adorable.
The other side is the shawl that's the pattern in the kit.
Oh.
So,
there you go.
The kits go up for sale on November the 1st at 10 a.m. There's only 120 available. The cost is $125 US with free shipping in the US, and it's $10 extra shipping outside of the US.
Oh, so this has... I'm glad I covered this part, because that totally had the digital code. Look at me, doing things right.
Unintentionally. So...
What's in here?
We're unwrapping. Got pretty paper. Oh, it's got a fat squirrel bag.
Yeah, I knew that. We're going to fight over that, my friend.
So, it comes with 3 skeins of yarn in the
base?
Dramaturg base.
Ooh, the DK wave.
Yeah, the Superwash DK. So, it's in Winter Wonderland, Ice Baby.
And it's cold outside.
So, these 3 together.
So pretty.
And this is the pattern. So, that's what you would knit out of.
Ooh.
And
pretty.
You get a fat squirrel bag. So this is actually one of our small. Well,
it's like a small wedge.
Yeah,
or a large wedge. It's
Amy,
a large wedge.
It's and so it comes with the what do you call these things?
Handles, zipper pulls.
Zipper pulls, yeah.
I think I get the bag now because I described that in so many words that are amazing.
So, it comes with the 3 skeins and the bag and whatever's in this.
Oh.
So
there is a rabbit on this bag and deer.
It comes with stitch markers from Selkie Studio.
There's a squirrel on the bag too. Oh, those are pretty.
It looks like about a dozen stitch markers.
I bet you need them for the shawl. What else is in there?
That would be smart.
Is there hot chocolate mix? What else could be in here?
Okay, so our options are hot chocolate mix or anything else.
What else do you put in a Winter Wonderland package?
I don't know. But I like opening presents.
Is it gingerbread men?
Look at all the little
I can't see.
Odds and ends of...
Aww. Oh, look at that. What else is in there? Is it an ornament?
It is. It's an ornament filled with bits and bobs.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
That is the smartest way to A, package, and reuse, recycle. That is incredible.
Yeah, I love all these little ends. I wonder what... I guess it's like...
when they cut
bobs.
the ties.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's leftovers.
That's a smart way to get rid of them and not waste them.
Way to get stuff out of your house.
Yeah.
And into Leslie's house.
So, cool. So, for $125, including shipping...
You get the pattern. 3 skeins
of Dramaturg.
Also, like, you know that new fade shawl?
Mm-hmm.
If this was a double kit, how amazing would that... Not the shawl, the sweater.
Cardigan, yeah.
How amazing would that be?
The colors go really well together.
They go excellent.
And I feel like they're not too...
I would totally put that
hokey
as
Christmas, you know? These could be good Hanukkah colors, though.
Yeah, oh yeah. They're good winter colors.
Yeah.
They don't need to be Christmas or associated with a holiday. They're good winter.
And the bag, which Laura thinks she's going to sneak into her bag without me even noticing. But,
could happen.
Yeah.
I think one of us gets the yarn and one of us gets the bag.
Yeah.
I'll let you decide.
So, I don't know. I think that's a pretty cool kit. I mean, the fact that it's exclusive is something to consider. Stop picking.
I'm not picking.
So, again, and just so that I don't say anything wrong, because I like to randomly make crap up, I'm going to read it off the card. The details are the kits go up for sale on November the 1st. There's only 120 available, and the cost is $125. And that includes shipping in the U.S. Add $10 if you're outside.
And you said it would be
US.
around 10 a.m.?
10 a.m. is what Steve told me, I believe.
Because she texted him to make sure that that was correct.
Yes, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on November the 1st. Because I was like, hey, you didn't say what time.
Because we know y'all.
Yeah, because I would want to know.
So pretty.
So, no, Siri, I don't need your help.
And you get a picture of Steve and Andy that you could have framed in your house.
Yeah, as soon as I got this, I pulled it out to Michael. I was like, look at Steve and Andy. He's like, yeah,
I feel like
you told me about them.
I feel like we should get like a little frame and just put them in the background somewhere.
We could be creepy and like put them, yeah. Put them on a little stick and
oh my gosh,
photobomb everything.
Like every finished object picture we take for Ravelry. Why have we not done this already?
Yes.
Steve is like, oh, I made a mistake sending them to
and Andy's like, whatever. I want the yarn.
Okay,
Is
I'm
that
taking
okay?
it back. Yeah, that's...
I love Amy's bags, but I don't have as much going at one time as you do.
That is perfectly alright with me.
So the pattern is called Winter City by Christopher Salas, S-A-L-A-S. And you get a free digital copy of the pattern as well in your kit on the code. This is the most adorable, ridiculous picture.
I'm telling you, we need to cut it out and keep it for all time.
Yes, I totally dig that.
And make copies of it. There are so many things we could do with that picture.
So many applications.
Mm.
So I'm going to need
bookmarks
Steve to send me a couple more of those.
We have a color copier. It could happen.
And now on to non-creepy stalker things.
What's the fun of that? I feel like these are kind of creepy stalker things.
Maybe.
Yeah. Speaking of Steve and Andy.
Yes. So SSK stuff has been really behind this year. Part of it is because in our quest for teachers, we've hit a couple of hiccups, and we finally have got them pinned down. But we're getting contracts now, so we can't announce who they are. But we are at a point now where we feel comfortable we have the right people, and we can go forward with actually having SSK. Because there's no point in having people sign up.
If there's not good people to
right,
teach.
like we have to be able to convince you to come, and the way we convince you to come is by bribing you with good teachers.
Usually. And we want good teachers.
Yeah. So once we have that information, maybe next week, maybe the following
We'll
week.
see.
We'll
depends on how quick people are responding to email.
But we are opening vendor signups for SSK.
Yes.
2018. The dates for the event are July the 18th through the 22nd. It ends on the 22nd. Market day is actually July the 21st, and the sign up, there's a Google form sign up that's linked in our show notes, but I'll also link it in the Ravelry thread, because not everybody goes to the
and
site.
We'll create
in the SSK group.
In the SSK group, we'll start a thread, and I'll post it on social media, and then I'll do a blog post. Yeah. That might not happen until tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. So actual attendee lottery will start after we've announced the teachers, because you have to know who you're coming. Yeah, you need to know. And prices have gone up a little bit. Right. We do have that set. Yeah, so that was part of it too, is we had to do math. Yes, which you guys know. None of us forte. No, we had to really think that out. The event center has kept our prices static for 5 years. 6 years. So, but they had to go up this year. The cost of housing in Nashville has gone up quite a bit. So, the day passer spot was $385 last year. It is $400 this year, so it's a $15 increase. Food went up as well. Food went up about $1 a meal, roughly, more on some and less on others. So, and then snacks and stuff like that. So $400 for day passer. That gives you everything except lodging. So you get a class, a goodie bag, entrance to the market, all of our extra stuff. Chance to win goodies. Yeah. Door prize tickets. Participation in the cows. Yeah. And then for on-site, if you're going to stay on-site as an attendee, last year it was $615. This year it's $675, because the rooms went up significantly more than the food did. So we had to have both of them in there for the on-site. So we hope that's still affordable. We feel like it's pretty competitive, but we want to go ahead and get that out there to you guys, so you can start saving your money. Think about whether or not it's the event you want to come to. So like we said, teacher announcements will come as soon as we get the contracts pinned down,
and then we'll open the lottery. The lottery will stay open for 2 weeks, just like we always do. It's not first come, first serve, so you don't have to worry about being at your computer at a certain time. I think that's it.
Yeah, so if you're interested in vending, all the details are in the form that's linked.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and fill out that
including the
form.
costs for booth, table, double booth, etc.
And if you have any questions about anything, like our traffic or anything along those lines, as in regards to vending, or any questions about SSK in general, you can always email us. She's youdon'tcallmeless@gmail.com. I'm llinema@gmail.com. We're also available at Leslie at TheKnitGirls, Laura at TheKnitGirls.com. Or you can PM me on Ravelry.
Yeah.
I actually answer those.
She does. I do not. But that's
That
also
might be a
listed
couple
on the
weeks
About
behind,
page.
yeah. So I'm Lala on Ravelry. You can ask questions also in the thread, but if you want to be more private with your questions, PMing me or sending us emails
and
is
feel
always
free
the way
to
to
contact any of our past vendors that have vended at our events. That I'm sure they can give you
An honest critique.
non-biased opinion on how things went. We will give you whatever information we can, but we are also not vendors, so there may be things...
Like, we don't ask our vendors their financials.
Yeah.
That's not our place.
I don't know if it's more or less than they make at other places. Anyway. I think that's it. And we're at an hour and 20 minutes, so...
Yowza. And I have to go let Pearl out, because she's going to be
probably
freaking
dancing.
out. Yeah.
And my husband has cooked something. I can smell it.
Smells like pot roast.
It smells delicious.
Smells like meat.
So you guys have a lovely week, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.